Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nick Kroll Show. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I got my friend Christian Ferraro here with me. Christian, how are we doing today?
Doing excellent, Nick. How are you doing? Thank you for having me on.
Of course, man. Thanks for being here. So, Christian and I met about, 2 years ago now, you think? Something like that?
Yeah, it was New York Fitness Expo.
Yep. At
We
the
met.
New York Fitness Expo. And it was a great time. It was great to meet and interact with so many people in that community. And
Oh,
he actually owns a supplement company, NCN Supps. He's repping the tank right now, as you can see.
got the NCN team tank on right here.
Hells yeah. And we really connected. We both had a pretty similar mindset and we both were starting businesses. And I wanted to just kind of have that conversation, like where NCN started, and Christian was willing to come on and talk about it. So that's what our discussion is going to be today. So where did NCN start from?
So NCN, the initial idea of actually coming out with a supplement company, that idea, it stemmed from a class I took in college. So we had to do a project, and we had to create a business of something and actually show on paper, the model of it and how it would actually work, and what type of business model you'd have. And it was pretty in depth. It was our final project. It was a summer class, only they're condensed, so it was wicked hard. But I got so obsessed with it, and I was really into working out, really into supplements. And at this time, I was buying all of my own supplements and just by themselves, solo, each ingredient, because I knew at GNC or Vitamin Shopper Online, all these companies were just mixing stuff into these, blends, or not even blends. It wasn't enough of the ingredient to get the actual effect that it can provide. So I started just weighing out my own, and I did it all throughout college. Ones that would help you focus, they call them nootropics now. Ones that helped you burn more calories or get your metabolism revving, because I was always dieting, bodybuilding throughout college, eating the meals. The meals are like I said, that's everything. The supplements, they help, but the meals are 90%. The meals are everything. The supplements will enhance if you got that on point, but it's how much I preach meals. So anyway, so we take this college class, and the company is actually Herculean Nutrition I came up with. And this was it's still on my computer. And I just want, there's all these raw suppliers of supplement powders, and it was so cheap. I was like, whoa, I'm paying this much for that much for that. So anyways, I got on, you write down all your prices and you do all the math and everything, came up with the business for the class, presented it. And then the model it actually worked. Of course, I'm not the manufacturer. I had to go to a real professional FDA registered manufacturer, GMP certified, the whole nine. When you actually do come out with products, you don't create them yourself. You do have a professional manufacturer. So they're the ones that are getting the powders for the prices I was seeing. But anyways, still, that's how the idea to start a supplement. So I graduated college, and then search for some jobs, but my true passion was just telling me to come out with a product, because I had it down where I had this going where I had my focus on point and I was burning calories. So that's what Shredderall was. So Shredderall was what I was taking throughout college pretty much, I was probably taking a lot more than one capsule, but that was Shredderall right there. So that's how I kind of learned all these things, and start with that one. So that's where it all stemmed from, just Shredderall. Nobody would think that would actually survive. Right?
And that's your product, Shredder X, right?
Well, that's the original Shredder X, yes.
So you kind of manipulated that into what it is now.
Yeah. Well, Shredderall, this will probably come up later in this interview, but yeah, Shredderall was the original one. The name changed. The name changed after about a year and a half, forcefully.
Why
forcefully
is that?
Changed. I got one afternoon I got a ring at the doorbell. And there's a fat stack of papers, and it was coming from Shire LLC, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the United States, and they make Adderall. And it was a letter from the CEO, was lawyer, attorney, about trademark infringement or whatever, if you want to go into it. But it wasn't. There's actually a great article, since this will be published, if you guys want to go look at it. Just type in Shire LLC Shredderall. And it's funny because a college in North Carolina, a law college, they actually, one of the persons published a journal article on this case. And they thought it was great. They thought the name was, it was good, you know. They agreed with it at the end of it, I think. So it wasn't like I was Adderall, Shredderall. It was a shred product, you know, Shredderall.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to. It didn't increase my sales at all. You know, I didn't sell a product, bro, for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Really? So that's how long it took before you sold something?
Consistently, yeah. Like I would sell like 3 a month, bro, in the beginning. I mean, I'm telling you, slowest grind ever, bro. A year and a half.
What was that? I mean, that's got to be like mentally just like, oh my God, like I'm trying and just nothing.
It's like I was telling you before we were on camera, those little senses of achievement that you get, those little signs you get that show you're getting somewhere greater than you started, you know? So it was like little signs like of growth, you know? It's very hard to gain support when I was, 25 years old, 24 years old. At this point, 23, I don't know. You're going to trust this kid who just came out with this product, you know?
Yeah, especially a supplement like that, like something that you put into your body, you know? I mean, I know I'm very careful, like what I choose to put into my body. Like I take whey protein, you know what I mean? Like that's like, I don't know how I would feel about that either. You know, if I was like just like, how did you market that?
Man, well, you know, ton of free samples. You know, you saw Murat. He said we weren't doing samples for that.
Yeah.
Well, especially now, I agree, no samples, just because COVID going on and everything. It could add a mess to it. Samples right now, but I gave out so many free samples, and he said, like, you know, a lot of times they didn't work, but whatever. I'd post free samples on Instagram. Posts are still in there. You go back 700 posts, and you know, you'd get a few messages, not a ton, but you know, you'd send out, you know, 10, 20 samples a week, just like that. Did any convert? You know, maybe a few, maybe a couple, but that's all you needed, right? That's all those samples. I mean, each sample probably costed a couple dollars because it was more for the stamp, because the pills, if you just put them in an envelope, they'd crush. So you had to, like, to send pills, you actually have to put them in a little container, which you can't use an envelope. You actually have to send them as a package. So they're costly to send just a pill. Yeah, it's funny, the pill things. Yeah, so to get them rolling, man. It took a while.
That was like a process then. To like, that is a grind right there. I mean, that's dedication to constantly be sending samples out. I mean, that's a cost thing too, right? Like you had to budget to send these things out. Like you need X amount of sales back to make up for that loss.
Exactly what it was. It was just, as long as I was breaking even, man, it was all about just putting it right back in, just keeping it going, keeping those bottles selling. I won my friend from Nick. I think you've seen Nick before. He lives in Florida now. He moved to Arizona, and he came back to New York. He visited me when I first started the company, and I had all these bottles in my dad's house where I was living, right? All these bottles, right, in a room, in boxes, right? And he came back a year later, bro. It looked the same. He's like, man, you know, and he sees how hard I was working, you know, on the Instagram page. It looks like I'm succeeding. It looks like everything's going well. He came back. He's like, man, if it looks like this next time, you know, I'm like, well, you know, they expire in a year. So, you know, but I was giving it was just consistent. It was consistency and not stopping. That was what it was. If I could have easily stopped, bro, easily, you know, but I was like, I'm going to give it all I have for 2 years, because that's the expiration date. I was like, why not? What do I have to lose besides regretting that I didn't give it all I had until it expired?
So how much did you buy at first? Like, did you buy like a ton at first? Or did you start small?
Yeah, because I went to a manufacturer that screwed me. So I bought a ton of product than I needed, especially starting off. However, if I wouldn't have bought that much product, I don't know if I would have still been going. You know, it's like seeing that much. What really switched the game up too is when I stopped shipping out the bottles myself, because somehow by taking that out of your mind, now you just focus on people and just now, because now, you know, somebody makes an order, you don't have to go bottle it up, bag it, print out the label, you know, because you're putting your mind and energy into that now. But now you can think more about, now more volume starts somehow increasing when I'm not bottling them. It was, I don't know.
I feel that. And I also want to kind of touch back on the buying too much. Like that was something I did at first too. Like I bought way too many original t-shirts and black shorts, and I could have used that money to diversify more and have more product. And I kind of wish I didn't. Like, I see how that actually ended up working in your favor, but for me it was kind of the opposite. Like, I wish I didn't buy so much, because I would have been able to buy more things and better. But I was like, I don't know how many I'm going to sell. Like, I have all these friends telling me, yeah, give me one of these, give me one of these, give me one of these. And
Right.
then time comes and it's like, hey, I have your thing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me get back to you. Or in like,
Yeah.
oh, I learned that one real quick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You learn that stuff in the beginning, which is the hard part of it. When you think you're going to have a ton of support, or and some people do. It all depends, but it's as long as you believe in it, the support will always end up coming. Well, I don't know. In my case,
Well, I think
I
you got
think
to build that support.
you have
Like
to build it.
I mean, we built that. You know what I mean? Like, together, like meeting at that expo, we talked for, I don't know, almost an hour or two the whole day, and then just kept coming
Yeah, we
back.
clicked right off the bat. You could tell very like-minded. Similar, the way we see things and everything, and it was, it clicked very well. Our combos were, you know,
Yeah,
they're,
and I think that also that mindset and that, like, wanting to connect with people, that's where your support comes from. I mean, people don't really care as much about the product in a small business as they care about the guy who owns the small business. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I've been treated poorly or served poorly or wherever, you know what I mean? If you're
mhm.
at a whatever kind of business, I'm like, I'm not coming back here. Like, F this, you know what I mean? Like, but if I'm like treated really nice, like a restaurant's great example. I will tip the entire bill sometimes just because the waitress was really nice or waiter was really nice. And if they suck, I'll do less than 20%. Like, but so many people just look at the standard and 20% and just boom, like 20%. Like, build that relationship and you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every person you meet, there's some connection to be made there. Like, everybody cross paths with you for a certain reason.
I don't. It's a beautiful thing, and I think, like, to add on to that, how we cross paths, right? So I think when you're a certain person, you cross paths with similar type of people,
Yes.
right? So when you're a person like yourself, you know, a great person, positive energy, positive mindset, encouraging others, helping others, um, you know, has people's back, supportive, just tries to give back, tries to be their best version, wants to see others succeed. You start seeing now the people that you attract into your life naturally are similar minded people. So that's what I mean. Like, you naturally came across that path. So it's very cool and unique like that. And there's the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And we see it every day. So
Mm-hmm.
I maybe like friends from high school, you know, I don't see a lot of people from high school anymore naturally because we're doing different things. Not that all those kids are bad people at all. Some are very successful, but they're successful in their own path now.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
not, they're not working out. So
I really agree.
I feel
I
I see it.
really like that take of, you become who you surround yourself with, and you get to make that choice who you surround yourself with based on who you are and your actions that you take daily. It's like, if you're a shitty dude, right, you're going to be around shitty dudes. Like, imagine if that conversation, when we met, for example, if I came up and was like, hey, what's up? Took a free sample and left and just didn't want to interact. Like, I've never connected. You know what I mean? It's things like that, like
Right.
sitting there talking, learning about each other for a minute and understanding, okay, hey, yeah, we think similarly, and we kept going and going. Like, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
different. And I don't really know how to describe that to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you just know when you're supposed to connect with somebody, when you guys have that similar mindset.
100%. 100%. It's one of those, we're so young to be able to like fully understand it. I think we're just getting the grasp on it, in our like, I mean, you know, we're obviously, for our age, I think we have a good grasp on like analyzing these type of things and stuff. But I think, I don't, I just went off topic,
Don't worry
but
about it. So tell me a
you
little
know what
more
I'm saying?
about NCN. Like, I mean, obviously this was a grind to start, and I love the dedication, and I love
Yeah.
the persistence and the consistency that you put into this. And it says a lot about you as a person as well. But I mean, now like, you have, how many products do you have out currently?
4 right now.
And what are all of those?
So you got the original Shredder X, which was Shredder All. So that was a Shredder All. I had to switch the name. Formula is the exact same.
And what does that do for somebody? Like if somebody was new to working out, like would you recommend they take that? Is that for an experienced person? Like what is
well, so the original Shredder X, that's going to give you long lasting, non-crash, clear thinking, good mood, energy. And you're going to burn more calories with it. It is a stimulant. It's not a hardcore stimulant. There's nothing illegal in there. It's really going to, it's a nootropic. So, it enhances your provides you with cognitive benefits, learning, memory. Now, there's a law of diminished returns with everything. That's why the new formula is a little bit different. You could always take, one capsule or two capsules or three if you wanted. You know what I mean? Now,
so what does the
original
research
Federal
for that look like? Sorry to cut you off there, but like, what is like as you're saying this, I'm like thinking like like the research part of this is. Do you do this? Do you have a team of people that do this? I mean, it seems like there's a ton of research that goes into manufacturing this.
Yeah, I did so much research. I still do so much research. I used to print out so many journal articles just on one ingredient, and just read through every single article, that study. And like it was college, like you're writing a research paper. That's pretty much, I did it the old school way, really, probably the hard way. I think, but that's why, like, as long as you can't, as long as you're moving is what.
Yeah. Going in.
Anyway,
I'll admit, like sometimes I work harder, not smarter, because harder is the way that I know. And in my mind, I will get done faster by doing it the harder way versus the smarter way, because I already know what I'm doing here. To do it the smarter way and I have to reinvent what I'm doing, it's going to take me longer. Might work out better in the long run. I don't know. Sometimes I try, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if I know how to do something, I'm just going to jump in and do it that way.
I think that is the smarter way, what you just said, that you're doing it the smart way, because eventually you get really good at doing it that way.
Yeah. So, okay, that's Shredder X. So then what?
So you got Gemblin. That was the second. I think I introduced that second. Gemblin would be second to the line right there. So that's a natural anabolic. So it keeps your body recovered, keeps it in a growing state, if you want to call it. But it does not mean that you're going to grow without being in the caloric deficit. So, but however, if you're dieting, okay, it's a natural anabolic. So it's going to preserve your muscle while you're dieting, but allow you to burn body fat.
Okay.
So it's just a plant. It comes right from a plant, laxogenin. And
really?
Yeah. So it's what makes the plant grow. It's a sterile, I don't want to say steroid, but it's a plant sterile.
Huh.
So
that's interesting. I had no idea that supplements were like made from plants like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Are most of them like that?
Brasinosteroid. There's a class of them. And some are derived from green tea, and they're not really talked much about. There's a lot of back 20 years ago, a lot of research done from the medical community, but they never get, a lot of them never end up making it to the market because there's not money on natural stuff, like marijuana. Now it's all over the place. Wonder why? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So why do certain ingredients go illegal? Is it for health sometimes? Stimulants, 100%, I would say. I think DMAA and any of that stuff is absolutely evil. I think high stim, all that, no.
What is bad about that stuff?
Huh?
What's so bad about that stuff?
It increases your blood pressure, your heart rate. It's not, it's not good.
Yeah.
So if somebody's, let's say, a fat burner, right? A lot of these fat burners they're high stimulant. So they'll knock your appetite, right? But usually a person who takes a fat burner is overweight. So now that fat burner is going to now increase their blood pressure even more. Okay, now it's going to make their heart work harder, and it was already working hard. So it's counterproductive. You got to be kind of healthy and even if you're healthy, high stimulants aren't good for you.
Huh, that's interesting. I mean,
a little bit of stimulant's good, but when you take too much of anything, it signals certain hormones that are released, like your epinephrine, your fight or flight response. So a cup of coffee for somebody could give them crazy anxiety attack. You know what I mean? Because it triggers that fight or flight hormone. And stimulants, they pick you up. So I'm just not a big fan of stems.
I mean, I agree. I'd like to reiterate that to make sure people hear that clearly. I mean, so fat burners, especially if you're a fatter person,
it depends what we're talking about here. I said high stem fat burners.
Okay, so high stem fat burners are not really helping you burn fat. Essentially, they're just making your body work harder.
No, they're burning. They're increasing caloric expenditure. You're burning more calories. If you pounded 400 milligrams of caffeine, you're going to burn more calories.
But that's not the healthy way to do it.
No, your heart's going to work faster as well.
And then you have higher blood pressure.
Right.
Little bit of a risk for a little bit of a reward.
Higher
there.
blood pressure, but until your body adapts. Everybody's different. I can't really say about everybody, but I'm talking about like pre-workout that contain 500 milligrams of caffeine. I'm not, 300 milligrams of caffeine is not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
400 milligrams, it's when you get like real high stem stuff and like DMAA, that type of stuff, amphetamines, like that's DMAA. It's a synthetic amphetamine that they're putting in products up until 2013, but mainly busted probably 2017 when I first hit the market, is when every product had it in there. Everybody was getting popped.
DMA is short for what?
Oh man, dimethyl I don't know. It's geranium root extract. They would try to classify it as. So they wanted it to be natural so badly. They would say but it was just such small trace amounts found in nature that it wasn't really in nature. It was being synthetically made probably in China, and just as amphetamines would, just as like Adderall, right? But it's a sketchy Adderall. You know what I mean? It's a cheap,
right. It's a knockoff.
I mean, they're all cheap, all these drugs, But that's the thing. Drugs are cheap. Natural supplements are expensive. You know what I'm saying? You could go buy a bottle of your protein powder, or you go buy something illegal, and then something illegal is going to be cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I didn't
whatever your thing of choice is, but it's like, man, yeah. So stuff that's good for you is not necessarily always the cheapest.
Huh. I mean, that's a really good point. See, I don't know much about this. Like, I really don't take supplements. I told you before, I take the whey protein, and I did a trial with BCAAs. Like, I took them for like a year, and then I stopped, and then I started again because I wanted to do like a trial with them and see like because I personally don't believe jack shit that I see on the internet. Like, I can't anymore. Like, after seeing this whole year, like, I can't believe anything.
I know. Oh, yeah, yeah, with anything, right?
So I just I'll read an article, and one article will say, yeah, BCAAs are great. And then the next one will say, no, these things suck. So I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to do a trial here. So I took them for like a year. I stopped taking them for a year. And then I started, 2 weeks ago, started taking them again. And for me personally, they seem like they help me maintain my energy level, I guess. Through my workout, I wasn't really crashing. It wasn't like it hyped me up. It wasn't like it made me stronger or anything. Like some of these articles will say, oh, it makes you stronger. It gives you energy. Like, it just kind of helped me not fatigue. And I was like, okay, that's good. And it also obviously helps with the recovery process. That's like the main purpose of it. But I was like, okay, overall, and I don't know if you know Scavion Extend.
Yeah. That was like one of the originals. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they have like 4 ingredients in the thing. Like, I like that. Like, that for me was working. So I was like, okay, good. So now I can check that off as like a supplement that I will use. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to find someone genuine about their supplements. Like you know what I mean? Like, you don't, so many of these fucking companies, man, they say, oh yeah, we got the special supplement for you. You want to lose 60 pounds, take this. And I see it all the time through your Instagram, through talking to you. It's not the supplement that's doing the work. It's you. And the supplement is there to help you. And I love that. That's what, to me, NCN seems like that's what you're all about.
Yeah, 100%, and it's adult. It's, in the long run, it's great. It feels good. It feels good to say it, to be honest with everybody, to say you got put in the work. You look at my story, I always post what I'm eating. There's no secret. I don't post my cardio every other day for an hour just because I feel like people are going to be like, all right, this kid's a nut. You know, so some things I actually don't post. Like I train every single day, balls to the wall, pretty much. You know,
Yeah.
but
You got to look like that.
that's what it takes. Yeah, you know, and you know the supplement. It's like it takes. It's just so selling supplements. You know, I love supplements, right? I was passionate about them. Like I said in college, I'm so passionate about them. You know, and so in this industry, when I got in it, you know, it's a business, right? Supplement business. It's one of those businesses, man, where the majority of the companies they're not going to be straight up, and they are just in it for the profits.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have these business schemes, business models that are highly profitable for them, and it works. They're very successful businesses, but to come out, I don't think it would work. You wouldn't feel good. I don't know how you could feel good about that, saying, "Hey, look at this transformation. It was done by Shredder X." You know, I could say, through my prep, I took Shredder X, and that was the only fat burner I did take, along with really good dieting. You know, and that's, you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
I dieted my ass off, and that's as lean as I could get in that amount of time with Shredder X. You know, so
Yeah.
and
It's all
I
about
dieted my
the
ass off,
work.
like went to bed starving for months. You know what I mean?
What's
So
that
there's
like? That's
no
got to take
magic
a
pill.
mental and physical toll on you. Like I haven't done a show. I haven't done a prep. I haven't done something like that because of that right there. Like I don't want to put myself through that to step on stage for a little. Like what is that like mentally and physically for you?
Um, the prep part of it.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of like just living the lifestyle more. I like, um, I feel like when you're in prep mode, you can't, it's so hard because you're pulling calories away. You can't, I can't do what I want to do, like as far as get done what I want to get done outside of just prep. When you're in prep, it's just like, you're so low on calories, man, you're unproductive. You're unproductive. You know,
How
you'll
is
hear
running a
people,
business during prep go?
it's what I've been doing right now for the past few. It's really, really difficult, and it's like you don't want to tell it. I mean, because you shouldn't be doing anything that's going to hold back your business. If you get into a habit of something that's holding back, that's what I'm big about. Like anything that I get involved in, I notice it starts holding me back from achieving something. That or anything is out of my life that was doing that. You know, nothing negative. You got to keep your mind right. The prep thing that'll hold you back as far as, okay, it could help your business if you win a show. Honestly, probably not.
Really?
At an amateur level, oh, you won an amateur bodybuilding show. I mean, how, I don't know. Is that,
So that was like,
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth, I just don't think if competitions are worth it if you're running a business. You know what I mean?
that was like something I was kind of weigh. I mean, that's actually really good input for me because I was thinking like maybe I should do like a physique show or something like that.
Yeah, bro, you got it already. You already have that. You definitely should.
God, it's just the whole prep work. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I can't put in the work. It's like, what are the pros and the cons? You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy how I live right now. Like, I'm pretty happy with pretty much everything that goes on
Yeah,
in my life. And why put myself through something that's going to do that when I don't really care for the end result that much? Like, I like how I look and I don't really want to change that. And I know there's a lot of bulk cut. And I personally don't do that. Like, I've never bulked. I've never cut. I've just kind of maintained and slowly put on mass, like as I've grown and as I've gotten older and trained more and trained harder and said, hey, okay, I have to eat more now. Like, you know what I mean? I
right.
kind of get to that, like that wall and go, okay,
Yeah,
to break through this wall, this is what I have to do.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like
You're consistent with
what is the,
you're already doing it. That you are doing it. I mean, you're doing it. You live the lifestyle. That's what I mean. I'd rather do like how. That's what I like doing. How you do it.
yeah. So then why do you do this?
You already are prep. You do prep. It is prep. The only difference between a competition prep is you just take yourself into an extreme lower. You're low body fat all year round. I mean, but you take it into that point where you feel uncomfortable, where you're not giving your brain the nutrients to really function right. So it makes everything harder around you, especially like this interview right now. I'm doing the photo shoot on Monday, man. I've been on the lowest calories I've been on forever, bro. Like so that's why I always track during our conversation. It's not productive to be in prep mode. Um, I have nothing. I have so much respect for the sport and the people that do it.
Oh yeah. It's hard work.
Oh, such hard work, man. That's what I mean. It takes so much work that it takes away from if you have goals in other aspects of life, like, you know, your business, my business, like your relationships in your life, my relationships in my life, it'll take away from those.
Right.
Even if as hard as you try not to, I probably I don't know anybody where it wouldn't take away from it. It just, you know,
You have to put so much time and effort into, I mean, even your food, right? Like you can't just eat a piece of chicken. Like you have to weigh out that piece of chicken and make sure you have all the fucking statistics, a lot of nutrition facts, fucking statistics on the chicken.
yeah.
Okay. You have to make sure you have all that stuff lined up and then you track it and then you add it. And then as you eat, I mean, dude, I've like tracked my food before. And I mean, I went like a few days. And I was like, fuck this. Like, I am not every time. Like, you know how many times I eat a yogurt a day? You know what I mean? Like to add that in every time. I'm like, no, like, or a banana, right? Like, there's large bananas, there's small
Yeah.
bananas. Like, they all
You
have.
gotta weigh it. You gotta go by the grams.
Dude, yeah.
You
Like,
feel it.
I don't have the patience for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been weighing since like 2013, 2012. So that was like living the lifestyle like that was slowly easing into it. So bodybuilding was like, I did it for like 9 years before I actually prepped last year. So that just shows how much I'm actually into the sport of body, like getting up there on stage and posing for people. Like I'm honestly embarrassed to do that.
I feel like that would be a little weird for me as
I'm
well.
embarrassed, man.
Like,
To
it's
be
different
completely honest.
on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's,
dude. I love, I'll post I'm all cool, but in the posing trunks, man,
yeah, it's like, I don't know how I would feel like getting up there and on a stage in front of a bunch of people I don't know and like just flexing. You know what I mean? Like, what was that like the first time you did a show?
I've never done one. The COVID happened 9 days out.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right. I forgot that. So you
yeah,
were
so
gonna
I
do
just
your
kept
show
prepping.
and it just canceled on you.
Yeah, so they canceled the show. I think we all shut down March 16th. Show was gonna be March. Gym shut down, I think March like 19th, but maybe it was 16th actually. But show was gonna be the 27th or 28th. So we were very close to it. I think I was like, maybe it was 9 or 11 days from what I remember. But I just kept prepping, and I had access to like a little fitness center. But I got that photo shoot done with it. So that was like, I mean, so never done a show. But I don't know, man. It would have been weird to go on. I'd much rather do a photo shoot than go up on the stage.
Yeah.
And
You still do all the prep work though, like you would be doing.
yeah.
I mean, you did, right? You were gonna step on a stage and then COVID just said, nah.
Right. Yeah. So, always in prep. Just enjoy eating healthy. It feels much better.
Oh my God. I couldn't to get into that. I mean, to explain to somebody what it's like to eat healthy, like I don't have the words for it. Just imagine you don't feel like shit. Imagine you don't have stomach aches. Imagine you don't get like constant headaches from sugar and all this crap. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know what I have for pre-workout? An apple. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I'm
I
feeling
agree.
kind of tired, I eat an apple. I haven't taken pre-workout in my
Same way,
life. I
bro.
took a half scoop when I was like 16 because everybody else was doing it. I was like, man, I wonder what this is like. And I was like, why? Like, because you become dependent on that stuff. And that's where I have a big thing with a lot of supplements is like people start taking them and they become dependent on it. People that take steroids too, right? Like not to loop supplements and steroids. And I'm sure you hate that, but
No. Plus.
people that take like, especially a steroid, right? Like that is, you're so dependent on that. And I had a friend that did it and he stopped and he like all that like hard work quote that he put in, like he looked really good on him. And the second he stopped, he looked like shit again. And I was like,
Man.
why would you want to go through a cycle like that and spend all that money when you can just
Yeah.
maintain it? Like, I don't do this. Like my favorite compliment is when someone goes, oh, do you take steroids? And I go, no. And they're like, yeah, that's bullshit. Like that's
Right.
awesome. Like that feels good because it's like, because you don't need to. Like if you just work hard, you will get there. It's that simple.
Exactly. No shortcuts.
Exactly.
There's like your friend figured that out quick.
Yeah. Yeah, you
It's
did.
hard. It had to be hard mentally. It could really. I had some buddies when, back in the day when everybody was hopping on. I didn't hop on, and
Hmm.
I saw what happened to them. When they came off, man, it fucked them up. My bad for swearing. I don't know if
No,
you
don't
can
worry.
swear. It ruined them, man, at a young age, because now their penis didn't work. Now they're mentally depressed because they don't have testosterone naturally producing in their body, and
Depression's a big one.
they're getting prescribed Viagra at 18 years old. You know, I mean, come on, dude, is that worth it? Is
No,
that
like
worth it? No. So going that route is not worth it. You're gonna ruin your life,
not to
most likely.
mention it feels so good. Like I've had a few friends that have taken steroids, and I mean, I've been pretty comparable to them. And when someone like when you look at two people, right? I'm trying to not sound like a fucking conceited asshole, you know what I mean? But like when you compare two
No
people and one
judgment
does
free zone here.
yeah. Well, when you're comparing two people that work out so much and they dedicate so much of their time to this, and one of them's on steroids and me who isn't, and I
Mm.
look better, like what does that say? You know what I mean? Like steroids are I don't know. I don't get the full point in that. I'm sure, like, listen, if you're Kai Green or like a professional bodybuilder, like, I get it. Okay, you need it at that point because you can't, your body will not grow that big without it. I get that.
Right.
But at least at my level, I mean, you're obviously a monster, but at like my level, you know what I mean? Like people that are my height, my weight, like to do
You're a
steroids, I
freak.
don't.
You're all gas, no brakes, bro.
You
I
love
don't,
that.
yeah, I do. No, you look amazing.
Ah,
Yeah,
appreciate
but I
it,
know what
man.
you're saying. Yeah, I've seen people on them, and it's like, man, you don't even know they're on them, and
Yeah.
until they tell you, because they're proud of it. You're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for that person.
Yeah, right. I've had that too before where people are like, "Oh yeah, I take steroids." And you're like, "What? Like you do? Like you think like they'd be this massive dude? Like they're not because at the end of the day, you still have to work for it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there is just no cheating the work. You have to work. How many hours do you work out like an average day or week?
Um, so about an hour of training, um, to an hour and a half, really depending on the muscle group.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's if I'm really trying, really, really like grow
Mhm.
high volume. And then cardio, it's been an hour literally every other day for the past 3.5 months to really like I said, I don't know if it was on record yet about the transformation, right? Was that recording?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not even announced, but since the gym's opened up, yeah, it was over 40. And, yeah. So yeah, per week, yeah, that's like what, an hour and a half time. So I'll go 3 days on, 1 day off, and it's hard to hold yourself back to not keep going. It's one muscle a day, pretty much. 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. And it's just a rotation. So Monday might be a different muscle than it was last Monday.
Yeah.
So usually like 8 days you'll hit a muscle again. It turns out to be every 8 days you end up hitting.
I'm
So
I'm a little
yeah,
less than that, but I get what you mean. Like you get the chest on Mondays, people back on Tuesdays. Like I don't do that either. It's just it's a cycle. It's a rotation.
right.
It's however it falls is however it falls.
Just like working, right? You're working on the weekend, right? It's however it falls, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. If you're employed by like a company, it's the weekend is time off.
Mm-hmm.
When you work for yourself, you know,
Weekends are crucial.
they're crucial. They're either a time to really recover if you went extremely hard and need to go, and you need to recoup, or you got to get stuff done. But yeah, it's yeah, we go the entrepreneur talk too,
Yeah.
not knowing your schedule. Like, what time are we going to do the interview at? Well, I'm like, I don't know. When are you free? Well, when are you free, bro? Like I'm free. I'm always free technically, but I'm not. I'm always working. You know what I mean? It's like
Right. Yeah.
always
Like I mean,
working.
this time could have been allocated for something totally different.
Right.
That's just how the cookie crumbles.
You're always doing something,
Yeah.
but you can always fit anything. It's like just you fit it in.
Yeah. If
That's
you
the
care and you want to do something bad enough, you'll make the time for it. Right. Like
100%.
that's what I tell myself when I say I don't want to do a prep cycle or go through a prep to do a show. It's like I don't want to do it bad enough yet. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying I never would, but I just don't. I'm not there yet to want to really do that at this point. I have
Oh
other
yeah.
things that I'm trying to use my time for.
Yeah. And I support that decision 100%.
So
100%. 100%.
we got a little distracted there. I was trying to get through all the NCN subs there. We got through Shredder X and Genbolin. And I was actually really liking this because I feel like I was being educated on supplements right now. And
Yeah.
something I am very not because I just kind of tend to stay away from it. So
Right.
you got two more. What was the
Yeah.
next one?
There.
Oh, we got it ready on
I just
set.
got a fresh one in.
Here we go. What do we got?
So this one is the newest one.
Oh, the Vasoswol?
This is the Vasoswol, yeah.
Yeah.
I just got this bottle last night because I did run out. Like, I don't lie, dude. That post was really, I took on that chest day up the Vasoswol. I ran out of Genbolin and Vasoswol. And my order came that day, yesterday or on Friday.
So what is that? What does that do?
So this enhances blood flow. So this is what is really healthy for your heart. This is also what, if you take pre-workouts, I would recommend you combine with it because it'll negate the side effects of that high blood pressure, of your potential for having a heart attack, because it opens up, it works in a way different than arginine, beta-alanine, citrulline, all those that actually put more stress on your heart to pump blood through it. This opens up certain, I'd have to have I just don't have everything memorized on inside the body, what it opens up, but it opens up your, whatever arteries it is with the blood.
Yeah.
In a different way than any of those other ones. And it's 10 times stronger. Like 300 milligrams of this, so 2 capsules is 10 times stronger than 7,000 milligrams, 7 grams of L-arginine. And that's what you see in all the pre-workouts, like 3 grams of L-arginine. Well, yeah, that's why you can put 30 things in a pre-workout that are cheap and sell it for $40. That's why this is the least profitable item right here. This is very expensive for Vaso 6 because of its so many health benefits, and it's new to the world,
So that was my next question. This isn't really something that you hear about a lot. Like, when did this kind of come around?
This came around. I introduced this when I met you. That was just literally the release was at that expo. I didn't even think I released it online yet. It was just put it up on the website because I was handing out samples that, and the other Fortini supps, remember? Mm-hmm. He was there. He knew he's like, oh, Vaso 6, he knew. And now he's going to come out with the product, giving him the shout with Vaso 6 in there.
So is this natural?
100% natural. It's derived from green tea extract. So it'd be like if you drank green tea from the store. Now, this is green tea extract, right? So Shredder X, there's a green tea extract in there as well, right? Now, there's different components to green tea extracts. So this unique green tea extract is, it's a green tea. It's called an oligomer. It doesn't say it on the bottle. It's just, if I said it wrong, it's all the info's on the website. But it's a different, it's like very concentrated. It's a very concentrated part of the green tea extract. And that's what increases the blood flow. Like the other green tea is more for antioxidants, which this has as well. It has this has 0 caffeine in this part of the plant. Green tea extract has a little bit of caffeine in it. This yields 1%, less than 1% caffeine per gram in each gram,
So in those capsules, like obviously the outside is just a capsule, right? What's inside of that? Is that like liquid? Is that powder? Is that both?
Powder. Yeah. So it's just pure Vaso 6 in there.
Huh. This is really interesting to me. I know absolutely nothing about this, and this is really good to learn. And I feel like anybody who wants to be educated on supplements right now is really going to enjoy this podcast.
Oh yeah. I mean, these are the real supplements, they're not BS. Like, you're hearing it from me, the owner of the company, right? It's like, dude, I wouldn't have been able to last if the stuff wasn't legit. That was the only way, is going the honest route with this, as you do too. You're not scamming anybody, We are honest people that, are about quality, customer service, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So these products weren't intended to just get rich. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can come out with those. You see a lot of lines like that where they got like 6 products, and you got the whole line. Here, use my discount code, and you taste their stuff, and it's like what? It's like literally they're paying a fourth of the price. You know what I'm saying? But it looks all fancy, but it's like garbage, So yeah, these are premium. Like you'll see a couple are just solo ingredients. Like I said, when I would experiment with the ingredients, you just take one ingredient at a higher dose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not combining all these different ones, every ingredient known to enhance blood flow, right? Combine them all into one cocktail in a small dose of each. And it's going to be better than if you just took one at a high amount. No, that's totally false. It's just it's lying to the consumer, But I'm not saying all pre-workouts are like that. Some do combine clinical doses of each ingredient in there, but you won't see Vaso 6 probably usually combined with those products. If you do, it's going to be a $50, $45 pre-workout. Just because this is Vaso 6 itself is insanely expensive. So is Gemblin. They're all.
We're using natural stuff. I mean, you kind of said it earlier. If you want to make some fake bullshit, it's going to be way cheaper than if you're using real natural ingredients.
Right. When they were selling pro hormones back in the early 2000s, I'll look back at some of these supplement companies, because it's cool to see how they've grown, right? But they got into it when you could sell something that put 20 pounds of muscle on somebody, and they were saying it was natural. Now the person might end up with boobs after a limp wiener, and they might be really messed up mentally, But guess what? You just made a lot of money now because now they got to go buy more, and you're just ruining them. You're ruining their health, but they're making a ton of money, man, because those products were cheaply made in China, just like SARMs that were just banned a couple of years ago. You know what SARMs are, right? They're like the alternative to steroids.
I've heard of it. I don't really know much about it. Like I said, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm very uneducated in this.
And they're just cheap research chemicals, right? But there's just the profitability on them is probably 4 times the profitability margin on they are cheap. So yeah, natural ingredients. The supplement market, they're for good products at least. Like you'll know what you're like. Brother Chris Walker.
Oh yeah.
He gets good quality supplements. He could tell. Like he get gym supplements. He knows about the quality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's So I think that's why the customer retention is great. Because you'll notice the difference in quality.
Well, also authenticity, right? Like I'm huge on being authentic. You know what I mean? Someone will say, hey, like I will tell people, like, especially our like leggings that I have for RN Fitness, like I have 50-50 mixed reviews on that. Like some people are like, oh no, these are really nice. I really like these. And other people are like, these really fucking suck. Like, don't ever make this again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
When someone's like, when someone asks me about them, I say, hey, listen, I don't wear them. I don't know. My wife likes them. This person told me they suck. This person told me they liked this about them. This person told me they liked this but hated this. Like, you use your best judgment now. Like, that's what I have for information. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I don't want to give somebody a product to have them then say, hey, this sucks, because then they're never going to want to come back. You know what I mean? And then they think RN Fitness sucks or whatever. So I'd rather them get something that I know is going to either fit them, that they'll like, or just nothing at all, because I don't want to give someone something they're not going to like. Because then you just, you made a quote sale, right? And you made a quick buck, but what good is that quick buck? You know what I mean? Like I make like $8 off a t-shirt or something like that. Like depending on shipping or how much is ordered, it's anywhere from
it's the shipping costs are expensive on clothing too.
Right. So it's like, the margin of me making a quote sale isn't really much. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to get rich off of 1 or 2 sales. So to try and push something that I don't even want someone to buy, you know what I mean? Like I've debated taking the leggings out, but I've heard a few people like, no, I actually kind of like them. So I'm like, all right, I mean, whatever, we'll leave them there. We'll see what happens. But I know, okay, I have to remake this. So it's more like an 80-20, you know what I mean? Because you can't please everybody, right? I mean, it's just not possible.
Exactly. You're right. And it's that's one of those like things you come in face with, that we both come in face with, I was just thinking about your business, like, I like your business a lot. I remember when I made my first order, what kept me, I was thinking about the customer retention thing and everything. And you're talking about the leggings. I don't know how you can't please everybody and everything, but what you can do is what I noticed what you did as well, and it makes a huge impact is, okay. And, the letter you wrote me with the order, the thank you note, it's like little things like that, man. Like, you could have had something wrong in the order. I don't even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll come back anyways. But the
I,
quality of your products as well is also superior. That's the other thing. Like the hoodie you're wearing, that's the one I have, right? I bought that one.
this was actually a prototype. So like every so
Okay.
often they fuck up and they like see how the logo's like black and this isn't even the same material, but like the square's
Yeah,
black.
it looked a little different. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I know which one you're
mine's a little
talking about.
shinier. Yeah, I mean that's literally my favorite hoodie.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, dude, I definitely you introduce like quality, quality clothing. It's a quality clothing line.
I appreciate that. And to your point with the note is like I feel like I feel weird sometimes writing them, right? Because I don't want people to think I'm just writing a note so they think that everything's cool. You know what I mean? Like I'll get these like some companies will just put like thank you on something and I'm like, yeah, you're just writing a note to say you wrote a note. Like, nah.
I know what you mean. I'm like you though.
Go
You
ahead.
go the extra step.
Yeah, like I try to connect. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's
I
about
know.
is the connection. Like I've connected with a ton of people through this brand, and that makes me really happy to connect with good people that have like I guess a like mindset. You know what I mean? Like they want to get better, they want to grow, like stuff like. Go ahead, go ahead. You have a
Yeah,
thought, and I can see it.
I know, bro. And that's what it is. That's what it is, man. So people think they start their business, they do it to get rich. We're getting rich, right, Nick?
Yeah,
That
I feel
connection,
rich.
the value from the value from these connections, the people we meet, the relationships we build, this right here, like the friendships,
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that make life great. At the end of life,
Yeah.
that's what we bring with us, you
Yes.
know? So I know you're not a profit chaser. I'm not a profit chaser, like yeah, we obviously listen, we want to have successful running businesses. Like that's the whole point of a business.
Right.
You're right. Or you're in it for or just to be a hobby. You don't want to make money. You put that. You don't take anything. But we're both. So you got to obviously we want to sell product.
Yeah.
We have both high quality products.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't. We're not pushing it down everybody's throat like all the other. You see all these ads all the time and everything.
Oh, dude.
Like
I
like your post, like the post, like at the end, like the post, you're giving something to each person.